Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Wednesday, June 21st, and the energies in the day adds up and reduces to number 7 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So when it comes to say the energies in the day, I don't know why I feel like chuckling or whatever. Let's get with the spirit animal. We are working with the crow energy. And the crow energy is so fitting with the energies in the day adding up and reducing to the number 7 vibration. Because the crow energy, like the number 7 energy, brings me to this crystal ball. It's like looking deep within, trying to understand something on a deeper level. But the crow goes further than that and leads to transformation. It's like turning a new page. And the number 7 energy, it brings you to the point of transformation. But before you can transform or change, you have to understand something on a deeper level. And from that deeper understanding, that's where, change comes. That's where one is able to say, transform. Like today, the sun goes into Cancer. And with the sun going into Cancer, it brings me to say, like, how when we entered into June, big focus was on community and siblings, where a lot of us may have reconnected with people from the past, people we went to high school, middle school with, grade school, elementary school, people from your old neighborhood, or an old coworker or old coworkers. Maybe one person reached out and then you were able to connect with everyone. And it's like, it's like big reunion vibe for me when the sun entered into Gemini energy. And now the sun enters into Cancer energy, where big focus on family. I think about family reunion now. I think about different things coming up around family members and feeling more in the family spirit is what I'll say with the sun entering into Gemini. I mean, with the sun entering into Cancer, but the sun squares Neptune today. And with the sun square Neptune, it brings me to say, who we identify with, we identify in a way that is group oriented. We identify with the social aspect of ourselves. Because with the sun squaring Neptune, it's like rejecting being alone, not wanting to be alone. But then the day adds up and reduces to number 7 vibration. So the number 7 brings in that lonesome energy, that introspective energy, that need to dive deep to question things and understand it on a deeper level. Mercury is the ruler of the day. Mercury is in Gemini, and Mercury also squares Neptune. So with Mercury squaring Neptune, the mind is in a place where it's like it doesn't want to reflect, because Neptune deals with that reflective, deep, meditative energy. And the mind is in a place where it wants to be busy and just, focus on anything, but not really reflect on anything that isn't like grounded in the material realm, is what I would say when it comes to the mind. But Mercury, the mind, is positively aspecting the moon in Leo. And the moon in Leo conjuncts Venus and Mars. So with the moon in Leo energy, the moon is in a place where it's childlike, it's playful, it's creative, it's expressive, it's courageous. I think of like the child who doesn't know danger, because that child is just so focused on like expression and being expressive. So it's like the moon positively aspects or creates a sextile to Mercury. The inner world is, you know, in a place where we want to communicate in a way that's lighthearted, that's fun, that's playful, that's expressive, that's childlike. And that brings me to the day being the 21st. The number 2 is nurturing. The number 1 is the individual, but 2 plus 1 is 3. It's that Leo Gemini energy, that childlike, light, expressive energy. But the energies in the day does add up and reduce the number 7 vibration. So it brings a totally different aspect to it. So it's like, I remember when I got to the day and I said, I feel like I want to chuckle, like something's funny. Like I think about how there's that, you know, light, childlike aspect to the day, but then there's another aspect of it that wants us to like understand something deeper. So it's like, say for whatever reason, something happened yesterday. And from the experience yesterday, today, there's some things you want to understand about it. But at the same time, there's so much distraction happening today where it's hard to get still and focus or try to understand whatever it is that happened yesterday. I look at how the moon is opposing Pluto, and the moon in Leo opposing Pluto in Capricorn. I think of like, say, the opposition about wanting to play, have a good time, and not focus on anything serious or traditional, anything that's too like anything that's heavy, anything that, I think of the child that doesn't want to stop playing. I think of the person who's like, okay, I turned my hobby into a business because I don't want to deal with like the boredom of like adulting. And with the opposition between the moon and Pluto, it's like, yeah, but you do need to deal with, say, the adulting aspect of life, because you need to make sure you keep up with your taxes and different things like that. So to me, it's like with the opposition, you have to find a nice medium in the sense like Pluto and Capricorn, you learn from your past experiences. So there's a level of transformation. Moon and Leo, you're aware of like, you know, what makes you feel vibrant and light and whatnot, and make sure you create a kind of environment where you never lose that side of yourself, but at the same time, you have to address the things that are important. And there is a T-square that is being made to like Jupiter between the moon opposing Pluto. So the T-square between Jupiter, the moon, and Pluto energy, it brings me to everything that I just said about not wanting to be focused on things that are so serious. And with Taurus energy in it, with Jupiter and Taurus, it's like traditional things that feel boring. It's like not wanting to deal with the boring side of life. It's like, I think of like eating the same thing over and over again type of vibe. It's that feeling. So it's like, to me, when I think of, say, the overall energies within the day, and the crow energy, and the crow dealing with like turning a new leaf, to me, today's a day where you will benefit from being honest about what it is that you don't want, and using what it is that you don't want to kind of design the ideal future for yourself, to design what it is that you want for sure. Because I feel like reflecting on what it is that you don't want will be so much easier. Because when we think about what it is that we want, sometimes we think we want something when really our imagination is pulling up things that we've seen before. And, you know, creating these storylines, and then the storylines are evoking emotions in us, and we think that's what we want when that's not what we want. And the best way is to reflect on things that you've had that didn't work for you, to understand yourself deeper. When it comes to the tarot, we have the 3 of Cups in the reversal position. So with the 3 of Cups in the reversal position, it brings me to some kind of a disappointment. The 3 of Cups in the upright position brings me to a celebration. The number 3 deals with a new beginning. So it's like something coming forward, and it's like, from this thing coming forward, it's like, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate the engagement. Let's celebrate the pregnancy. Let's celebrate the new business. Let's celebrate the new job. But with this in the reversal position, it's like the miscarriage. Like, hopefully that's not the case with anyone, but the miscarriage of, say, the dream, the miscarriage of the job, the miscarriage of the business. It's like something, that you were expecting to move forward. There's some kind of a step back with it. And from the step back, there's that feeling of disappointment. But it brings me to what I was saying earlier when it comes to, say, paying attention to what it is that you've had that you don't want, to better understand yourself, to know what it is that you do want, what works for you, and what will be in your best interest. Because it comes back to the process. It's like, what can you see yourself doing most days, every day, for the rest of your life, or for the next 5 years, 10 years, or whatever? And it's like, if you could see yourself doing a thing, then it's like, more than likely that's a good path for you. But if you can't see yourself doing it, like, yeah, we can force ourselves, but I find that's where people experience dis-ease, and then it breeds disease in the body, because in our physical world, within our mind, we're not at ease with what it is that we're doing, and instead we try to force ourselves, and eventually, like, we deal with the consequences of doing that. So when I look at the energies in today, yes, there needs to be some kind of introspection and deep understanding of something, and truth, needing to understand something on a deeper level. And I think about the day adding up and reducing to the number 7 vibration and being in the 7th year, and how whenever the number 7 is present, we will experience some kind of annoyance or challenge that forces us to strip ourselves of everything and kind of get a bit minimalistic as far as like how we solve our problems, or even how we're living our lives, in order to strengthen our faith. Because once our faith is strengthened, then we can build from there. Today's Ceres enters Libra. Ceres is an asteroid that talks about how we nurture ourselves and nurture others. With Ceres and Libra, it talks about, say, how we nurture ourselves and others through fairness, diplomacy, but more than anything through friendship, through connection, through being in the presence of others. So this energy can bring me to say, some people might feel a sense of guilt as we enter into Cancer season, and there's a lot of either family reunions or issues or things coming up around the mother and the family, and some people feeling the guilt of, not wanting to, say, reunite or connect or deal with certain people, but then feeling like they have to, because that's what's happening. And then with Ceres entering to Libra and wanting to nurture yourself and others by being in the presence of others, this can cause us sometimes to say, like, I think of, say, after a relationship has ended and time has passed, how a person could find themselves focusing on the great parts of the relationship instead of being realistic and honest about why it ended. And because they weren't realistic and honest about why it ended, they only focus on the great parts because time has passed and they're missing the person. And then they find themselves jumping back into a relationship with that person again for the same thing to keep happening. I get that vibe when it comes to, say, family matters. And when it comes to, say, energies like today, remember I was saying focus on, the things that you don't like or don't want, to understand yourself better, to know what changes that needs to be made. Maybe this might also deal with family situations, reflecting on, say, certain things that happen to create better boundaries, or come up with a better plan, or even, agreeing to therapy or something, when it comes to, say, the family. But when it comes to the energies in today, the 3 of Cups in reverse brings me to some kind of a disappointment. And from the disappointment, it goes to the Crow energy, where there's a level of transformation from the disappointment, because it goes back to, one of my favorite sayings, pain is a bookmark that holds space for our transformation, or discomfort is a signal for change. So it's like, from this disappointing thing, it forces, a person to reflect. And from the reflection, one comes up with a solution, and then change is a thing forever, because now there's a solution present. It's like, okay, we don't have to keep having the same negative experience over and over and over again. You guys, such a pleasure sharing this message with you as usual. If you'd like to book a reading with me or check out my exclusive weekly content only on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. Please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a purple heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.